going to take you guys down this side of the Teen Center. Right here is going to be the computer room. They do plan to vaccinate up to 300 healthcare professionals from this point forward. From learning inside the classroom to online learning from the comfort of their own home, and then back into the classroom. So far, none of the officers involved in Breonna's death have been charged in her murder. Her name now a rallying cry in a fight for social justice. A no-knock warrant is exactly what it sounds like, or doesn't sound like. I have a question for you. How many hot dogs do you think you could eat in 10 minutes? 1, 2, maybe 3? I wish smell-o-vision was real so you guys could smell how delicious this food is. And Santa, of course. They were able to make sure her kids have something to open come Christmas morning. I'm a fan now, absolutely.
I mean, we've got this ULL fan here.
One and only Raging Cajun, guys. Well, Naya, as of right now, House Bill 3979 was actually passed and would go into effect on September 1st, but it is on this special session agenda because Governor Abbott saying in a statement that he wants legislators to take another look at it and refine it to make sure that there is no room for critical race theory within schools throughout the state of Texas. Now, with no surprise here, with many other of the agenda items, there are some very strong opinions on both sides of the aisle.
This critical race theory is designed to separate people.
Representative Doc Anderson says critical race theory is meant to teach hate.
You know, if you're born Caucasian, you're bad, and you're bad your entire life, from birth to death. It's absurd.
It's an opinion shared by Texans like Perla Hopkins.
CRT is not a practice, it is research, it is findings, it is a theory, and it should never be put into practice.
Hopkins says she's had her own battles revolving around race theory within her children's school district.
When you apply CRT ideologies, when you put them into practice, all you are doing is justifying discrimination.
Hopkins getting in a debate with a supporter of critical race theory, Caitlin Pratt.
If we do not accept the history that we are built upon, then we cannot move forward as a nation. We cannot move forward with the future leaders that we teach every single day.
Pratt, attending school in Houston ISD, says her history lessons were whitewashed, so she supports critical race theory.
Necessary to explain the history of African Americans, Native Americans, and indigenous people.
There's a discomfort around race topics, and it always becomes a little more extreme when we're talking about our children, because that tends to, get to us emotionally.
Scholars like Dr. Rosalind Shane say critical race theory has complex graduate level subject matters that many don't understand.
There's a bit of a fear tactic going on where it's teaching children to about revolution, or it's Marxist. That's a misunderstanding of the origins of the theory.
As an educator, Shane believes there should be no biases when it comes to education.
Education has to be holistic. We have to be able to look at all of these different ways of thinking.
Dr. Shane says critical race theory is just like an onion that has many layers and many different things that actually go into it. She says it takes a certain level of maturity to really fully comprehend and understand everything that goes into it. So no doubt legislators will have their work cut out for them to make sure that there is a middle ground to come into place for this critical race theory bill. Now, as for Pratt and Hopkins, they say they will continue to make sure their opinions and their voices are heard on this topic. But at the end of the day, it's all in the hands of legislators. Live in Austin, Leigha McNeil, 25 News.
My hands are already dirty.
A stroke of inspiration.
My sister, she's actually autistic and she loves to paint.
Sparked at home.
I wanted to give the other kids who have autism or other disabilities that opportunity too. I'm just mixing colors.
That initial idea turned into chocolate Fantasia.
Maybe some kids are allergic to it, but I really like chocolate.
From the beginning, Bromella Spitzer was hands-on, working hard to make her chocolate-themed event a reality, ultimately raising over $3,000. Were you expecting to raise that much?
Nope. I was expecting to raise like $1,000.
She did all the raising herself.
Mm-hmm. It was stressful.
The sold-out extravaganza featuring art from local special needs kids.
An overwhelming proudness. It's really amazing.
Romella really exemplifies all that we like to see in our students.
Her selfless act.
Having the sensory room on campus, the benefit of that is that we can take those short breaks, that we can spend that individualized time with the students.
Will soon help special needs children at her school.
So the money that Romella raised is going to buy equipment to support those rooms and the needs of those students.
I have to do the outline at the moment. I want people to notice how autistic kids can do things. They might not think that they can do it, but they actually can. They can do as much of the things that they put their mind to.
Big plans are already in the works for next year's Chocolate Fantasia event. All the proceeds will benefit the district's Special Olympics. Reporting in Copperas Cove, Leigha McNeil, 25 News.